In this video, we're going to show you how to route your audio from a Behringer mixer to the P16 Personal Mixer so you can get your in-ear mix sounding exactly the way you like it. We're going to be using the XR software, and that XR software is only compatible with the X12, X16, or X18 Behringer mixers. If you're using the X32 mixer, you have to use the X32 software. But if you're using that XR software in any one of those three mixers, then this is the right video for you. So without further ado, Dad, take it away.
So we go to this mixer here. You can see I've got the drums in 5 coming from the SPD SX Pro, the bass, same thing. The tracks are coming in on 11 and 12, and the click is coming in 13, all coming from the back of the SPD SX Pro. I also have a few other things plugged in, clarinized mic, and my guitar. That's what we do when we go do live. I play live guitar. We have tracks and we have vocals. Alrighty, going out to this in-out section of this app, we got a drop-down menu here. It's like a little diagram. This left side right here is actually the P16. We chose the Ultranet. When we hit the in and out part of the setup section there, we made sure we chose the Ultranet, which is the P16 routing. It may say P16 on another app, but on this particular one it says Ultranet. The word Ultranet is actually on the mixer itself. How you plug into the P16 to get the P16 working, you have to plug into that port. So saying all that, the left side of this drop down section is the actual P16 channels. The top row here, 1 through 16, is actually the same as these mixers, these channels on the mixer. So channel 5, of course, it says it's the drums there. That would be channel 5 here, so and so forth. All right, so channels 1 of the P16 and 2, as you can see on the labeling here, is I have tracks. But remember, tracks are plugged into 11 and 12 of the main mixer, so I have to route that from 11 and 12, which is this top row here, to channel 1 and 2 of the P16. So I select those two boxes. So I'm sending my tracks now, which are plugged into 11 and 12, to channels 1 and 2 of the P16. 3 and 4, we always bring in a reverb. We like stereo reverb in our ears when we sing. So I'm taking the effects channel, the second effects box, which is over here. This box right here, this plate reverb, is dedicated to my in-ears. So I'm taking the output of that box internally and sending those effects to left and right to channel 3 and 4 of the mixer. Channel 5 is going to channel 5 of the mixer to the P16, as you can see here. And of course, that's the drum mix from the SPD SX Pro, which is plugged into channel 5 of the mixer. Channel 6, we've got the bass plugged in, so I'm sending channel 6 here of the mixer straight down to channel 6 of the Ultranet P16. Channel 7 and 8, we don't have anything plugged in the mixer, but it is a 1-to-1 ratio. We just keep it that way. If I had a keyboard player on this gig with me, he would be plugged into channel 7 and 8 of this mixer, and he would be listening to himself on channel 7 and 8 of the P16. 9 and 10, I have my Kemper plugged into it, my guitar pedal, and it's going to 9 and 10 of the P16. 11 and 12, we don't need anything there. If I had this on, if I had that, then I would have 2 sections. But remember, we sent 11 and 12 to channel 1 and 2 of the P16 because that's what we're used to. 11 and 12 are off here. I don't want anything going there. I don't want 2 sets of faders on my P16 and having the tracks coming up, but that would confuse us. Now, 13 is the click, and it's going to 13 of the board, going to the 13 of the mixer inputs, which I call the board sometimes, to 13 of the P16. 14, 15, and 16, we always do that for vocals. We don't have anybody on a third vocalist today, so there's nothing coming in on there. There's nothing plugged into it. Here it's empty. Claire's in 15, I'm in 16, and they correspond there. So this is the routing we use for the P16. There is one other thing. If you see this little section down here, that's the tap. In other words, that corresponds with the color that we're selecting. As you can see right here, this one's green and this one's pink. The pink circle that's not filled in is pre-fader. So all of these signals that we're tapping for all of these that are that color, we're tapping on the signal at the pre-fader level. In the case of the reverb, we're just tapping it right off of the reverb. It's not going to any kind of channels or anything like that. But we like the pre-fader because we like the compression and the EQ to be on our P16 that's being EQ'd there, because it's kind of like a process signal. And sometimes we go on some of this stuff. Sometimes I'll go into the pre-EQ mode because I don't want the EQ coming from the main mixer to affect us, because each one of these channels has its own mixer EQ also. And let's say the front of house, the guy wants to thin out the acoustic guitar or thin out the drums or thin out my guitar a little bit, that he would be thinning it out in my mix also. So I choose a tap before that EQ in the house, and you can do that. You can go all the way to the analog plus mute, input. All of these are different stages of the tap, and if you looked at the block diagram of the mixer, you'd see exactly where that is. But for our purposes today, we have no sound guy out there. I set it and leave it, so I just leave all this stuff to pre-fader.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you want to learn how my dad sets up his in-ear monitor rig, then check out this video.